in pine, I guess the saying, sometimes in life you just have to cope. But here's a coping saw. In pine, it's not so as bad doing it with the coping saw on a smaller piece of trim. But in oak, the jigsaw makes it a whole lot easier. But just make sure you keep your hands behind the blade. And then I usually rest it. I usually make my cuts, and you can usually rest it. My old jigsaw was actually easier than this one. This is a new Bosch, but it still works, but it definitely does a better job. But here's that threshold that I made for the door up there, and it's I started off with a piece of 3/4 thick, and I planed it down to 5/8 is what the tile thickness was, and then to go out to the jamb it was 2 1/4. And then how I get this bevel on it is I lay out with a marking gauge a line at 1/4 inch or thereabouts, 3/16 quarter, and then I usually go over about maybe 7/8 to 3/4 and put a mark. And then I use my Power Makita planer. You could use a hand plane as well, but you just make several passes until you hit both lines here and here, and then I usually bevel this with a block plane. So that's how I do those. But anyhow, I don't know, a lot of people probably do it this way, but nobody showed me how to do it. I just figured it out one day. I'm thinking, this is a lot easier, especially on oak. Like I say, pine isn't as bad, but you can do it a whole lot faster with the jigsaw. And then I trim it up with a little rasp or a file. Alrighty, you have a good one. God bless.